West Coast Park has its own kind of vibe. In this video I'll try to get there using as many park connectors as possible, even though we have to go through the cargo area of Pasir Panjang. I'm curious if there are luxury yachts hiding in the bay. And when the ride is done, let's hunt down something truly local, a plate of Rojak.
Hey everyone, welcome to my channel, which is all about handcrafted content from the real world. I mean, at times where it's so easy to create AI-generated content or to react to other people's content, I find it more entertaining to go out, explore the uniqueness of places like Singapore and also the local food, and to show you how it's like to ride with a half-bike. So in my last video we finished the ride at Labrador Park, which is just behind me. And here we are starting our journey today, heading west along the coast to the West Coast Park. I hope we can get some decent sea view at the end, and maybe if you're lucky also some glimpse at a luxury yachts. That would be cool. There will be some challenging passages along the way without any park connector or bicycling lane. It's an industry area in the west, so there will be lorry drivers. It will be loud and not fun to ride. But let's see. It's quite some interesting areas too. And I hope we can finish it off with some very local food called Rojak. Looking forward to that.
The first stretch from Labrador Park is smooth. I first have to head back to the main road and ride to the west until Pasir Panjang. Before reaching the Pasir Panjang MRT station and when seeing signs for the ferry terminal, we take a turn to enter the nearest bicycle park connector. Singapore's park connector network is impressive, but at the time this video is recorded there are still a couple of annoying gaps in between the park connectors. However, these gaps are continuously closed as the PCN network is extended. Now leaving the Pasir Panjang food center behind us, we continue following the park connector with the West Coast Highway on the right and the Pasir Panjang cargo area on the left. Hard to capture on camera, but there are actually several wild birds and also trees with huge blossoms around this place. From peaceful nature path to raw industrial Singapore. For reaching West Coast Park, we now have to follow a food path along the Pasir Panjang Wholesale Center. And here we are, West Coast Park. There's a small playground for unleashed dogs near the entrance. I will ride now all the way to the most western corner of this park. Finally, some space to breathe. Riding under a Clementi road here, quite steep but manageable with a half bike. Lastly, reaching the open sea. The light is turning golden now. Let's take some rest here and enjoy the view for a few seconds. The yachts in this bay are massive. I can spot the White Rabbit G here, which I also spotted near Sentosa in my first episode. Biggest tri-hull yacht in the world and valued with about 100 million US dollars. There also seems to be its smaller brother here, the White Rabbit Model E, aka Echo. But honestly, I would prefer rather one of these smaller boats, keeping a low profile. Which one would you prefer? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let's now head north to the West Coast Food Center to get some Rojak. Turning my camera off here for 5 minutes to save some battery. There we go. The food center is right next to the West Coast Community Center. And there's an Island Penang Kitchen restaurant on the corner, and I'm confident they will have Rojak on the menu. Rojak is a salad, and I believe the Malay word Rojak just means mixture. Because it's a mix of pineapple, cucumber, some vegetables, fried dough fritters and a dark shrimp paste sauce with palm sugar, lime and chili. And obviously topped with crushed peanuts. Quite an intensive mix, and as such I think it represents Singapore quite well. It's messy, it's delicious, and it's something you can't understand until you try it. Let's rate this trip. Most of the PCNs I drove on, including the PCN within the West Coast Park, are brand new. So for the category road condition for carving, I give it a 5 out of 5. Continuous cycle path 4 out of 5. There were only a few traffic lights to pass. We passed a couple of food courts including Pasir Panjang Food Center and more, so giving it a 4 out of 5 for food and drink options. Ambience and view 4 out of 5, the West Coast Park has its own vibes. If you enjoy discovering cities the real way, on wheels, with food and through curiosity, make sure to subscribe. And if you're thinking of getting a half bike yourself, you can use my promo code for a discount. Thank you for watching, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next ride.